Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Ba'ashem HaRakakodesh. Double honors to the apostles and those of great most on the roll. Shalom to the brothers doing the right Syrian truth. Got this article on MSN from the Washington Post. It says what flour rationing in Lebanon, grain hoarding in Hungary. How the Ukraine war is lurching the globe towards a new food crisis. Yeah, and I remember when they first spoke about the war, like the first few days when it started, they said I can't remember how much the percentage was, but it was like maybe 30-40% I think of global grain. I think around 30% of like global grain what came from in and around the area. So for them going to war and that shit basically not getting exported anymore, bruv, it's gonna be peak. People are gonna be feeling the burn. It says what? Russia's invasion of one of the world's leading breadbaskets, Ukraine, is deepening the worst surge in global food prices since the Great Recession. And yeah, I think since the war started, like in the last week, I've seen prices go up on a few things. On a few things just over the course of the week, and fuel is the main one. That's the main people at the pumps feeling all kinds of destroyed. Because yeah, them oil prices are the main ones. But with fuel prices going up, that means absolutely everything's price goes up. Especially like here in the UK, because here in the UK, it's everything's fucking driven in. Like when they had the all the guys trying to cross into France get fucking denied. That shit was legendary. But globally, everyone gets products. They get it delivered, even if it's just being moved from like the warehouse from like the coast into like a city or something, or the warehouse into wherever they're selling it. Fuel's needed for everything, man. You need for flying shit, need for boats, need for everything. So boy, everything's gonna be going up, and you know it's a month away from that fat tax increase over here, which is people are gonna be feeling the burn. Global prices. Okay, so Ukraine is deep in the worst surge in global food prices since the Great Recession, raising the specter that Moscow's war could spark crisis-level hikes, inflame the scourge of world hunger, and spark political turmoil far from the conflict zone. Yeah, because that's the thing as well. Is it's not just in Ukraine and Russia where they're gonna be feeling, a certain kind of way about it. Everyone all over the globe is gonna be feeling all messed up, and then it might be like, okay, look, people that are sanctioned and whatnot, people that are not meant to be trading with, they might be like, we have to fuck it off, and basically do it, because otherwise we're gonna have people starving. Now people are gonna start fucking uppercutting, start losing their minds, and completely rebelling. Since the Russian assault began, countries from Hungary to Indonesia have moved to bar the door to exports, corralling grains and cooking oils to feed their own. Yeah, and that's the thing as well. It's like as soon as it's the main places that are going to feel that, because these guys are going to feel the burn because they're not able to sell it. The guys where they might have been relying on, okay, I need to sell, this season's done. Like I can last like the next 3 months or some shit. But it's like if I don't sell it, then we're fucked. It's peak for them. But hey, they gotta eat. The places that are buying are feeling peak because they're like, oh shit, we only got a certain amount of whatever in stores. We ain't even, it's gonna be like we're gonna have to get some supplies from somewhere. Someone's gonna have to sell, or we're gonna have to pay a fucking arm and a leg, pay 2 times, 3 times, 4 times the price to get some. Hell. Risking a round of trade protectionism that could deepen global supply and price wars. Around the world, food prices were already rising fast amid supply chain disruptions and pandemic-era inflation, but some prices, especially wheat, a basic source of sustenance in many countries, have shot through the roof because of the Ukraine crisis. Upending calculations of the world's available food supply and leading to the rationing of flour in parts of the Middle East. Hell. hell. And that's the thing is no one knows how long the war's gonna last. No one knows, when supply chains are even gonna go back online. And even if they do, you might get the problem like with the same thing that happened with the, what the fuck are they called, microconductors? Microconductors? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Maybe it wasn't. Was it transistors? I think it was transistors. There was a shortage in I think it was transistors or microconductor. Fuck knows. But wherever there was a shortage in, people when they came back, it's like everyone was buying more than they needed to just get back up and running, which has extended the shortage because they're basically trying to build stores so the next time a shortage happens, they're not just going to be completely fucked. So together, Ukraine and Russia account for nearly 30% of wheat. Yeah, so 30% of wheat, 17% of corn, and over half of sunflower seed exports. And the conflict induced bottlenecks at Black Sea ports, where cargo vessels have been struck by Russian rockets, and other complications of war have slammed Ukrainian exports. Boycotts of Russian ports by shipping companies and the knock-on effects of sanctions have also disrupted the flow of foods and feeds from Russia, creating problems that could grow as the Kremlin now threatens to impose export controls on some food commodities. Yeah, so it's all kinds of hell. Man said 30% of wheat. That's like, fucking hell. Man said a third of the wheat, nearly a third of the wheat on the planet. Probably closer to like a quarter. That's if that just evaporates, bro. You get that. That's nuts. It's gonna get peak. As bad as it is, the key wheat future surged 70% over the past month. The situation is poised to get worse. A new report by the FAO, due out Friday, estimates food and feed prices could surge. Oh yeah, and feed as well, because if it's used, because I think corn as well will be used in feed. So it's like that. Those prices going up is going to affect them. FAO drought Friday estimates food and feed prices could surge 7% to 22% above already elevated levels due to the war. In real terms, with prices adjusted for inflation, costs are approaching, but not yet surpassing, the global food crisis of 2007 and 2008, when droughts, the rise of biofuels, and a barrage of trade protectionism merged into the worst food inflation since the Soviet grain crisis of the 1970s. Yeah, peak, immense. And I remember when they started talking about biofuels, and people were just like, man, just burning through absolute fields of grains, just to turn it into not very useful fuel. But hey, that's how peak it's gonna get. In the short run, the FAO says large grower countries, Australia, Argentina, India, and the US, could make up for a portion of the grain shortfalls from Ukraine and Russia, but important factors could worsen the problem. If the war halts planting in the rich black soils of Ukraine, wheat shortages will worsen in the coming months. Yeah, that's the thing, is in the middle of a fucking war, these niggas are getting blown the fuck up. They ain't got no time to plant and reap no grain. They might even have shit out there that needs reaping. And then, bruv, as soon as the war gets close enough, it's a wrap. If planes are flying around and fucking bombing this shit, ain't no one collecting no goddamn grain. They ain't gonna be out there able to do that shit. Or it might even get grabbed up by Russia if they control the area. They might just take it and then utilize it as a form of sustenance for them. Boy, and it's peak. These are the things that are basically going down, man, and people are going to be feeling that burn. It's going to be hell, and it seems as well, because it's like the fuel price is going up. It's now springtime. It's going out of that winter. There might still be a cold snap. We'll wait and see. But people are probably thinking like, okay, the energy prices we ain't gonna worry about as much because you ain't gonna have the heater on. But there's more troubles. And even then, even if you ain't gotta have the heater on, your ass has got to drive around. You gotta drive the kids to school. You gotta do whatever, depending on where you live as well. It can get peak. Hell. 2nd Ezra 16 and 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again, until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Yeah, these have been sent out, man. Them evil arrows of famine, they've been sent out. They're going to accomplish everything they need to do. That's why you're seeing it. Same with, these nations being riled up against one another with the charagma, the mark, all these things, the groundwork being laid. But it's all gonna come to pass, man. It's not just gonna be like halfway through, then it'll just be like, no, actually, you know what? No, it's everything just goes back to normal. It's been a cascade. It's been them dominoes, man. You watch the dominoes, then it starts off with just one falling, and it goes cascades into like 5 different rows of dominoes all getting knocked over. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when those evils shall come? Yeah, beginning of famine, beginning of evils, man. These things are going down. It's just the mindful person is thinking, what shall I do? Most people in the world are not trying to address or deal with any form of what's going down. They're just trying to close their eyes and just continue with life as per usual. The beginning. So it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Yeah. They're not mindful of the scourge, the famines, these things are basically showing like, yo, this place is completely off. It's completely wicked. It's the time of judgment. But as this is the final judgment, this is not, they've, the Jake out here have been deafened and blind. So how much more so the heathen? The heathen have been enjoying themselves. They've had an extended period of where they've been able to do their thing and nothing's frustrated them. Now is the time for that judgment, that punishment to come upon them. That's what they're going to eat. It's getting peak. But yeah, and prices, it's going to be a madness, I think. Depending how long this goes, hey, I have to change up the diet. But yeah, Shalom. Yabashim Shabashim Rakakadash Rakata. Shalom.